Hello, everyone. I'm Kiera Nixon, a volunteer with the American Cancer Society, and today I will be interviewing Theresa Martin, a breast cancer survivor. Thank you so much for joining us with 5 Minutes with Theresa Martin. Theresa, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Kiara. Nice to
Great.
see you.
Great to see you as well. Could you please tell us about your cancer survivor story?
Well, it started about 2 years ago. I went in just for a regular mammogram, and they found a little spot and went and had a test done, and it came back that it was an LCIS, which isn't really cancer, but they did monitor. In the meantime, I insisted on having a genetic test, which really wasn't recommended, but I insisted on having that genetic test. It came back positive. I was BRCA2 positive. So they set me up every 6 months with a mammogram, MRI. In the meantime, my siblings were also tested. My sister tested positive. With that said, they recommend you going and get a hysterectomy. We both had our hysterectomies. My sister's came back that she was positive with ovarian cancer. So that test saved my sister's life, which is just amazing. In the meantime, 6 months later, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had to go through over a year of chemotherapy. It was really difficult. As you can see, my hair, I have hair down to here. It's finally growing back. My chemo
And it's
ended January.
beautiful.
Thank you. My chemo ended January of this year. So I'm feeling good, getting my energy back, and just, happy to be here.
Wow, what an amazing story. And did you have any family members who had breast cancer before, or what made you want to get that genetic testing?
We did. We had a lot of breast cancer in our family. One of which was very not normal is my grandfather had breast cancer, which is I think 2% of males or less than 2% have male breast cancer. So that was a real big trigger for me. I also had an aunt that had breast cancer, and my maternal grandmother also had breast cancer. So we have a lot of cancer in my family. So I was always kind of had it in the back of my mind that I was a very high risk for cancer. I didn't think I would have it as young as I am, nor did my sister think she would either. But, both of us kind of went through cancer and chemo simultaneously. She went first and then I went. And so it was pretty challenging for my mom, to say the least, to have two kids going through chemo.
Wow, I can imagine how challenging that can be, especially with you and your sister, and you're both going through chemo at the same time, and you're both dealing with the cancer journey. How was the American Cancer Society able to help you while you were going through this journey?
Well, I actually connected with the American Cancer Society after I finished chemo. For some reason, and I think that people that have gone through chemo can probably relate to this. I was fine throughout all my chemo, typical being sick, things like that. But my last chemo treatment, I walked out of Mayo Clinic and just started bawling my eyes. And I talked to one of the counselors over there, and she said that's often what happens to people because they're so used to being cared for, and all of a sudden you leave and okay, what's next?
Hmm.
So that's where I kind of thought to myself, okay, what do I do now? So I reached out to Kayla, and she can attest. I mean, when I talked with her on the phone, I just started crying again because I was so excited to be involved and focus my energy not on what was going on or what had happened in the, previously, but to move forward and helping this wonderful organization. So I was really excited to connect with Kayla and help in any way that I can.
Wow. And if you hear her mentioning Kayla, Kayla is one of the best volunteers that we have with the American Cancer Society out of Jacksonville. Well, Theresa, thank you so much for your story. My last question to you is how do you plan to participate in the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer um, campaign for this year?
Well, I know I'm going to go out and buy my pink t-shirt, and I'll be walking on the beach. I
Oh,
told you
yay.
earlier, we just moved out to the beach, so I'll be walking on the beach with my pink t-shirt.
Oh, make sure you take plenty of
I
pictures.
will.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun. Take plenty of pictures and definitely continue to share your story with so many others.
Of
Thank you
course.
so much for this interview.
You're welcome. You take care.
You do too. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.